Now, I've heard a lot of, people who say they teach black history and all like that. And I always, after listening to someone talk for 2 or 3 hours about, black history and we have a Black History Month and whatnot, and we have a Black African American History Museum, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And a lot of it is about the glorification of black people. Now, what I have written is said, hey, wait a minute. Celebrating? We have a Black History Month celebration. We should have a Black History Month, maybe, since we're giving it education, because in answer to your question, hey, you have some people who have thought up a system based on mistreating people. That's what racism is, based on color, something that no person had anything to do with. The Creator made color, chlorophyll they call it, in the trees and everything. So it made color in people. So what's the big deal? But some people got together who classified themselves as white at some point in history and said, I thought of a system where we can misuse people forever based on their color. Do anything we want to a category of people, and we will call these people colored people or Negroes or different names associated with color, people of color, black, brown, red, yellow, and then we'll have a classification of people of non-color called white, and the white will dominate the non-white. Now, somebody thought of that. Why they did, I don't know, except for what people motivates the people to do anything. Fun, glory, and material comfort. Because that's what you get out of things. That's what all people, apparently, if you look at people coming and going, all people like fun, all people like glory, meaning somebody appreciates you, somebody's attracted to you, someone kind of praises you for what you're doing or what you're acting like you're trying to do or something. That's glory. That's what they call glory. And then material comfort, that's the third thing, and that is having things. So they figured out a formula for getting those things for mistreating people of color. Now, why they made that choice, I don't know, because for me to know that, I would have to know the origins of good and evil, okay? And that's dipping into territory that I'm not familiar with. The theologians can tell you all about that. But every time I've listened to theologians of the different religions, they practically hit each over the head with holy books, arguing with themselves about how it all got started. That's why we have what we call religious conflicts, okay? So I don't want to be a part of that either. I mean, I can get a fight started about anything. I don't need to fight about religion, about what God intended, or what God is, or whether or not there is a God, and then I go around and start killing people about this. I mean, you can kill somebody in a gambling game or whatever. I mean, if you're just going to kill somebody, just go ahead and kill them. You don't need to go and dig up no whole lot of religious argument to kill them. And that's what a lot of people do. Okay? But the people who invented this thing called racism, in answer to your question, that's just something they invented and decided to do, and it turned out to be the most powerful political and religious system in recorded history. And it did it in a very short period of time. This thing called white supremacy swept the entire world. And all of the theologians who are people of color and whatnot, they succumbed to it and still bowing down to it. I mean, all of the religious leaders bow down to white supremacy. Every last one of them. Because the white supremacists said, hey, my religion is white supremacy. What's yours? And if you think yours can match mine, let's put it to a test. And that's any major religion that you see any person of color announce that is their religion. When they come up against the white supremacists have proven so far, no, your religion is not as powerful as mine, because I'm the God of my religion. That's what the white supremacists say. You're talking about what God is. I'm the God of the religion of white supremacy. And I prove it every day that my religion is more powerful than yours. My politics are more powerful than yours. My tribes is more powerful than yours. My organizations are more powerful than yours. My money is more powerful than yours. Why? Because I said so. That's why. And so far they have proven it. In answer to your question, so far they have a code. I mean, that's the most astounding code that the world has ever come up with. This thing called white supremacy, there's nothing to compare with it. But we act like it's not there, and we like to pretend that it's not there. Why? I understand why. I understand it fully. Because we don't like to admit that we're subject to it. And that is one of our strongest weaknesses. Because the first step towards solving a problem is to admit that you've got a serious one. And that you've been taken, like Malcolm X said, you've been took. We've been had, shook up, run amok, bamboozled. They've done a complete job on us. And we keep trying to make excuses saying they have some type of fault in them, and that makes me feel better for 5 minutes, but it doesn't solve the problem. So we got to figure out how they did what they did, and then come up with a code, which is what they have, for unraveling what they did and what they're still doing now. That's it. And that's what I tried to write my book for.